woman running for Metro Council is under federal indictment tonight, accused of stealing COVID relief money meant for small businesses. Wave News reporter Meredith Lee has more on the charges she's facing and what it means for her campaign.
And Betty Walker, also known as Betty Bailey, appeared in front of a federal judge Thursday. She filed to run for the Metro Council District 5 seat in January. But Bailey is now charged after federal investigators say she abused a system meant to help people.
Prosecutors say Betty Bailey, a Metro Council candidate, was part of a scam involving loans that were supposed to be used to keep small businesses and the people who work for them afloat. Those funds came from a program Congress created during the worst of COVID. According to a federal indictment, around March 26, 2021, Bailey applied for a PPP loan through a woman named Kaylin Green and was approved for more than $16,000. She allegedly paid Green $2,500 for the help around April 9th and almost immediately began spending it on personal expenses. To cover their tracks, the indictment says Green filed a federal loan forgiveness form on Bailey's behalf in December of that year, falsely claiming nearly $10,000 had been spent on payroll. Prosecutors say that never happened. But Bailey also allegedly recruited others into the scheme, collecting payments from them, then passing money to Green to file their fraudulent applications too, working both ends of the fraud for a total of $1.6 million between 2020 and 2022 among the 5 parties prosecutors claim were involved. Despite the federal charges, Bailey's name will stay on the May ballot. Jefferson County Clerk David Yates says his hands are tied. State law only allows a candidate to be removed if they withdraw, the Secretary of State declines to certify them, or a court orders it. His role, he says, is, quote, strictly ministerial, not judicial.
Betty Bailey is charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Bailey's campaign website and Facebook are still online. We've reached out by email and went to her home looking for answers, but Bailey did not respond. Meredith Lee, Wave News.